Good morning, all. Nice to see you all making this up. Despite a lot of fear around COVID-19, but we're here, and let's see how best we can use our time here. I think I need to stick to this microphone. All right. So today I'm going to share with you our very own journey at Microsoft, how we transformed our business. Not too long ago, just 5 years ago, our stock price were hinging around $27. Today it's at $160. We're growing well, but there have been a lot of change behind the scene that happened since our new CEO took over, Satya took over. And what we realized as we were doing our own assessment of our business, our portfolio, and how we operate, that we had to really transform ourselves. It's not about technology. It's not only about the technology that we need to change. We had to change our processes. We had to look very deeply through our culture and see how we can develop new business models to make a progress. So today's discussion is about how we operated in that particular journey. What was our case for change, and then how we transformed, and what we learned through our experience over the past 3 years or so. And then, I'll leave you with some conversation starters as you go back to your own business. What we realize today that we are standing on the fourth industrial revolution, as many call it. We started the journey in the 1780s, where water and steam used to power our mechanical production. Then we had the advent of electricity that generated mass production. And following this, we had electronics and IT that started automatic production. But today we are sitting on digital age. And this one is very different. This one is not about technology, as I said. It's not only about how efficient you can become at producing at a scale. It's also about your people, your culture, your products, and the data that you harness so you can get the maximum value out of it. Gartner also ran few surveys, and what we see that 6 out of 10 CEOs today wants to build not only their IT capability, but also want to build their digital assets and digital capability. We had 30% of our business today monetizing from their digital capability, and we can give many examples of this as we go through the presentation. We also saw 3 years ago that 60% of our business will be striving and will be driving digital capabilities and digital business. And we see this through our business results as well, not only us as a tech company and many tech companies that are enabling that, and also partner business and others. What we realized, we started moving from the mobile first, cloud first world to a world that is about intelligence in the cloud and intelligence at the edge. And what we mean by edge, it's about sensory things. So many sensors are at play, so much data to play with, okay? But how can we make the best use of that data to make the right decision, so we have the right resources at the right time and at the right opportunity? We also started gathering our employee and as well our customer feedback. What our customer wanted is that make it easier to business with you, Microsoft. We as a company had a very complex licensing arrangement that we started addressing. It was very difficult for customers to do business with us. Customers told us that we are embarking on digital transformation, but we haven't built that digital capability. So Microsoft, please come forward and help us build the digital capabilities. They wanted us to know about their industry much deeper than we ever knew. And then they said that we are spending a lot of money on your technology, help us get more value out of your cloud. At the same time, our employees have told us, my customer needs help with their transformation. Help me learn the new skills. help me prioritize my trainings and reduce the too many meetings, internal meetings and emails that we have, and help us run an extended team, a virtual team. Now, if I reflect on those feedback, we as a company were known as a company that have been predominantly selling Office and Windows. We're known as an Office and Windows company where margins were high, and we saw in our Seattle campus across the lake, there is a company called Amazon, right? Who has been in a big book business, but they started selling cloud. So they have been a leader in that space, and we started following what they are actually doing and how they were being successful. It gave us a very deep understanding around where the technology trend is moving. Despite being a technology company, we miss certain opportunities as we are progressing through our own journey. But there is always a comeback. At the same time, we asked ourselves, how we can help customer to realize their values first faster, okay? Where we have to invest our resources, and what does it mean? What skills and behaviors we want our sellers to cultivate? And finally, and how do we differentiate ourselves in this highly competitive environment? Our response to this was, we have to engage very differently, and we have to make sure that we revisit our sales model and internal sales culture.
Did you take some photos?
But when you think of a global corporation like Microsoft, it's not an easy undertaking. It is about driving change across 191 countries, involving more than 130,000 employees globally, where we have almost 65,000 sellers, 45,000 are engineering people, and around 10 or 1,000 in different support functions. So that was a huge undertaking to drive that change at that scale. So it made us grounded on our mission. Microsoft's mission is to empower every person and every organization on the planet to achieve more. It is our true North Star. And when we talk about empowering individuals or organization, we think that every individual can learn. They can learn from their failure. They can learn, and they can be curious. As long as they have the right tools and opportunities, they can unlock their potentials. We believe potentials are nurtured. It is not predetermined. When we have that kind of mission, this ambition requires a different kind of application from ourselves as a company, as an individual, and as an employee. So for us, it was very important before we build our go-to-market strategy, we deep dive into our culture and nurture a culture change that was so much needed 3 to 4 years ago. As Peter Drucker has said, culture is a strategy for breakfast. Two companies created at the same time in the same industry will still be very different. The only reason is people. People are unique. They bring their own perspective and experiences into the equation. And that's what made us to deep dive into our Microsoft culture, which is grounded on growth mindset. In growth mindset, we mean that, people can learn and grow. We encourage people to learn fast from failure, which was very different for a company like ours. In the past, if I have to roll back, I'm in this company for almost 14 and a half years. I think failure were not very much appreciated. But here today, failures for us is a learning moment. And it is shared across the board. At the same time, we thought that, yes, if we have to cultivate this growth mindset, we also need to look at other attributes. We have to have obsessions over our customers. We need to attract diverse talents and be inclusive. And also, we need to break down our silos. because the silos that we had really hampering how we grew our business and how we innovated into new areas where we operate today. And silos also led us to have many data silos that didn't allow us to harness a lot of intelligence that existed in the business. We had engineering very distant from the field. Well, field understood what the customers want, but that communication were lagging. It was not speedy enough, and that's why we had to look at all those things. Because we certainly thought that if we got the culture right, and if we can get people on that journey, we can make a difference at an individual level as an organization level as well. So our global transformation involved about 5 pillars. First, we needed to resegment our customer base, aligning to different industries, because different customer will need different kind of support and service from Microsoft. We had to also get deeper on technical expertise. In the past, while the technical expertise used to be with engineering, we have developed specific programs for every employee and sellers so they can improve their tech capability to sell every Microsoft products that are available. We created a new department called Customer Success that was non-existent 3 years ago. And this department's job is that while our sellers sell, we want another group of people to make sure that our customers are consuming value from the products and services we sold. They are working with them on their success and consumption model. We also ensured that we work very closely with our partners. We went deeper and fewer. We made sure that we are developing and co-developing IP with our partners. Because some of the partners, when we look at different OEM partners and others, they had more expertise and knowledge of a particular industry than we had sitting in an R&D center in Redmond or Hyderabad, or even in the field. And also we started changing our sellers' compensation towards not only how much you sell, but how much value customer is deriving from. We have a term for this called consumption. This has led to our belief that to empower digital success, we need to cultivate our different habits and become a most trusted cloud partner, because trust is so important in this cloud era when it comes to privacy and security. If we cannot build those trust in our products and in our solutions, and also the ethos and the values that our sellers carry, we won't be able to sell. So customer centricity, simplicity, and tech intensity were the 3 key pillars for our sellers to focus on. And we call it about empowering digital success. Now, let me dig a little bit deeper on our own transformation journey. So digital transformation, according to Gartner, is defined by 4 pillars. It's about how we empower our employees, how we engage our customers, how we optimize our operations, and transform our products. And then we started overlaying this with our own digital assets, that modern workplace, business applications like our dynamic solution, our application and infrastructure in the cloud solutions, and our data and AI capabilities. Now, in our particular case, when it comes to empowering employees, we looked at the skill gap that we need to address with our employees. We resegmented resources. We brought in new skills. We brought in new talents. And at the same time, we kept on harnessing the culture that needs to be in place. Obviously, with other technology and solutions that we offer, we are the first consumer of those. Then when it comes to engaging customers, we try to make it simple. We try to make our customer experience more digital, more streamlined. Today, we have something called One List. So a customer, partner, or an employee can go in and log an issue And this issue is flagged at appropriate level to the highest level of engineering teams on a solution area to address that. At the same time, we started gaining deeper understanding of their industry and their business, and also getting help from our partner ecosystem. With certain customers, we even agreed to co-create new IP that didn't exist before. So those were around the engage. And now, when it comes to optimizing operations, we had many tools and reporting systems. As I said, that we have been very siloed as a company in the past. So we built this data silo, and then there were these information brokers, you may call it. So it was very difficult to get the information at our fingertips. We walked into meetings. The sales leader will have one set of data, the sellers will have a different set of data, and finance across the table will have a different set of data. It was a problem to manage a business of this nature with different sets of data and different understanding to make the right decision. We also transform our product. As I said, the privacy and security is at the core of what we do. So we address this through our product design and solutions. We try to make our solutions compliant with the EU GDPR laws, which is around privacy. We tried in Australia to make our solutions compliant with the Australian Signal Directorate's guidance at the federal government level and different regulations. Today, we work with many banks and FSIs where we try to comply our solutions with the APRA regulations that help them to make APRA compliant easier. So those are around how we are transforming. At the same time, we also have to keep our mission always alive in our mind. Because today, in this diverse world, accessibility is a big thing. So every product design, we start with accessibility in mind. Now, just to give you a little bit of example of our journey over the past 3 years, you'll see on this slide that we had 8 different CRM systems. Today we have one, which is powered by Microsoft Dynamics 365. We had a number of forecasting processes and forecasting tools. From 14, today we are down to 1. Sellers had individual tools, more than 25. Today we have reduced it to 2. Managers had individual reports by each accountability area that we streamline into 1 with different dashboards for the leader, for the seller, and for different folks who are important to make a decision. Leaders had a very disparate views, and now more than 50. Now it landed to 3. And we had a very manual transactional process doing our business. Today, our business is mostly driven by artificial intelligence, machine learning, and different insights that we deliver through our system. So if I have to summarize this transformation that we have gone through, where in the past we're selling just a packaged software, today, with the help of engineering, our focus is around the cloud services and devices. Our sales motion have been very transactional and manual. We have adopted viral, find, try, buy, and use as well. We sold support as an add-on. Today, we integrated support into our cloud services. Our partners' ecosystem have been slow to change. Today, we have many partners, and I met someone in the room today as well who is also a valued Microsoft partner. And the products and capabilities they are building on top of our products is phenomenal, okay? So we are harnessing the cloud partners more and more and developing IP and co-creating IP. Our sellers, as I said before, are focusing on selling licenses. Today, we focus on usage and consumption. That drives real value for our customers. Our readiness didn't need to happen because our product cycle was every 3 years, there was a new Windows or new Office coming up. Today, we have new features and new functionality and new solutions coming up almost on a daily basis. So how do we keep our seller abreast on these new developments so they can position the value of the solutions better? And in the past, our sellers had compensation that is tied to the revenue they generate, which is the invoice value to the customer. Today, it's not only the invoice value, we are balancing with our consumption. That basically drives the real value for the customer. So it's a big change for us. Now, a couple of ways that we thought that it helped us to lead an effective change. First one is that any change needs to be top down. It has to be from the top level leaders, and it has to have a continuous communication. When we initiate a change, it also needs to excite people in the organization about the opportunity of this new. And that's what we try to do. We try to build capability around growth mindset, around our culture, around reskilling, and also hiring new talents. We had to leverage our people managers group to be the voice and ears in the field. And finally, we had to reinforce confidence by celebrating success early to make people believe that on the path we are on is going to happen and be successful. Some of the steps we took as we started this journey about 3 years ago. First, we set a team of corp and field very senior leaders on a team to make sure that we are mapping our core business, segmentation, we call it, and also the new business model that we need to do. We wanted to make sure that whatever design we do of our organization, it remains confidential. So those days, I used to work in the Middle East Africa area before moving to Australia, and I was one of those talented individuals in that list who knew about the New York design and all those things gonna happen. But we didn't disclose it until the new fiscal year started. So there was a very strict confidentiality agreement that were put in place to make the change happen fast and quick. We also leverage technology, our very own technology, to communicate regularly. And as I said, we launched the new fiscal year, and we also delivered a lot of training around our culture and about our new organization 6 months into the fiscal year once the new organizations were announced. Now, our important takeaways have been around the ownership, which is ownership from the top. At the same time, how we empower individuals through the managers community. And we are able to share our learning. As I said in one of the comments that we fail fast, learn fast. So how can we make that information widely available and also adjust our strategy on different things? Communication has been a very well-branded plan that we had in place, and we have been communicating frequently. And we try to show a sense of urgency. The time is now, and I think you need to overlay this with the market opportunity to create that sense of urgency. So much about our own transformation. So I think it starts with questions like, what are your enduring values, if you want to take away on this? Where are you now, and where do you want to be, and how soon? Are you acquiring new customers at the rate that you want? Is your business sufficiently agile and optimized? And do your products meet your customer needs, and are your employees empowered and engaging? I think if you can start the conversation on your own transformation journey around those 5 areas and 5 questions, you will be on a path to see success. You will have a strategy in place that will be customer centric, at the same time simple, and able to build the capabilities that's needed to operate successfully in today's world. Thank you. I'm happy to take a few questions if they're now or after the session.
Thank you. Question time.
Yes.
You said on one slide that towards the end that you worked with teams to build up a new organisation, and then you rolled out new sales culture start of the financial year. What were the actual time frames? It wasn't instantaneous. So how did you migrate your tools and your processes to adapt? Was that within 1 quarter?
It took us about 6 months. And maybe I repeat the question for the benefit of the rest of the room.
Yeah, thank you.
So his question was, as I said, that all of those were tainted, all those changes that were coming down were tainted. And then we implemented the changes, and how long it took us to align our processes, tools, systems with the new organization design we had. So the answer is it took us 6 months. Are we refining? We are still refining. Have we dropped a few? Yes, we dropped a few. We had to adjust continuously because it's a continuous learning motion for us. Okay.
One other question? Yes.
Yeah.
One of the things that you said is slow to move partners moving into this new transformation world. What are some of the activities that you've done with your partners?
Yeah. So we have, it's a little bit outside my scope, but I'll try to address. Okay. So on the partner side, we really saw some partners who have been slow to move. So as our sellers, to be very open, right? We have been selling a package, Office and Windows, very transactional. We gave a lot of incentives to some of the partners to transact that business on behalf of us. But then we had to develop new IP and new solution, how we encourage the partners. So we had a cloud solution partner, CSP motion in place. It has a different incentives around it. We have many IP co-sell partners, where with those partners, we sell different IPs that are industry specific. It can be horizontal or vertical solutions that we offer.
So one more question.
Yeah. So I would say it's difficult to define which one is difficult. But I think that if one thing that we need to focus, it's about empowering employees. Because if you have the right people and they are empowered with the right set of tools and guidance, I think it addresses a lot of other things that you want to do. Getting the right insights from the customer, knowing the operations, whether it's working or not, where they need to improve. And finally, when all those things come in, creativity comes in, you can really transform your products and services. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Sajid. Thank you very much.